Thank you, Mayor Menino. It is an honor to have you here today. You are one of the greatest mayors in the history of the United States of America, and we are honored to be here with you. From Charlestown to West Roxbury, from Allston to Dorchester, and everywhere in between, our priorities are the mayor's priorities: streets free from gun violence, a world-class education for all of our children, the best jobs in the world, all within a vibrant, welcoming city that opens its arms to everyone. Thank you so much, Tom Menino. Boston loves Tom Menino because Tom Menino loves Boston, and we all know that his leadership, his vision, and most of all, his friendship is what we cherish the most. To my beautiful and brilliant wife, Susan, to my brothers, John and Richard, and their families, we thank you so much for your unwavering love and support. Speaker DeLeo, Senate President Murray, Attorney General Coakley, Treasurer Grossman, Auditor Bump, Secretary Galvin, Congressman Capuano, Congressman Tierney, Senator Cowan, Congressman Harrington, Congressman Delahunt, Chancellor Marty Meehan. We thank all of you and all of the other incredible leaders who are here this evening for all of your support. I also want to recognize my great friend John Kerry. Today, he skillfully represents the United States abroad as our great Secretary of State. For 28 years, he was a champion for Massachusetts in the United States Senate. John Kerry combines the tact of a diplomat with the tenacity of a warrior for the middle class. He partnered with the legendary Ted Kennedy for a generation, and I am honored to follow such great public servants, in addition to the great Paul Tsongas, so that I can now partner with the extraordinary Elizabeth Warren to represent Massachusetts in the United States Senate. Standing before you tonight in this special hall with its echoes of history that stretch back to the American Revolution, I am so honored to serve you in the United States Senate. Faneuil Hall has been the place in Massachusetts history where ideas important to the Republic were given voice and rippled throughout our nation. Names like Adams and Webster and Jefferson adorn the walls. It is a shrine to democracy and reminds us that we cannot shrink from or shirk our responsibilities today for next generations that are yet to be born. America is the greatest country in the history of the world. My father was a milkman who drove a truck for the Hood Milk Company. My father told me, you have to deliver every day, Eddie. That's what you have to do on a job. He graduated from the vocational program at Lawrence High School. My mother was going to be senior class president in Malden and valedictorian, and Girls Catholic. Her mother died. Her mother, my grandmother, passed away when my mother was 16, and so my mother had to abandon her college dreams to stay home to take care of her younger sisters. It was before the New Deal, before Social Security. The social safety net in that era was one of the girls is going to have to stay home. and that was my mother. So I was the first person in my family's history to ever go to college. I drove an ice cream truck to work my way through Boston College as a commuter living at home. And I took out federal student loans, like many people have to do even today. But thanks to you, thanks to the people of our state and our country, this son of a milkman is now serving the Commonwealth of Massachusetts in the United States Senate. And I thank all of you. I am a son of Malden, but I do not go to occupy a seat in the Senate. I go there to stand for you, to speak for you, to seek change that lifts up your families and your future. And to everyone in this state, regardless of how you voted, I say to you again tonight, this is your seat in the United States Senate as well. Over the past week, I crisscrossed the Commonwealth. People shared with me their dreams for their futures, their hopes for moving our country forward. They told me of their frustrations, that they wanted to make real progress, creating an economy that works for everyone, that we put real gun safety measures on the books, that NRA stands for not relevant anymore in American political life. That we protect a woman's right to choose, that the LGBT community has all of the protections and rights under the United States Constitution. And there are three other things I heard every place I visited this week as I crisscrossed the state. These three things were on everybody's mind, and they were jobs, jobs, and more jobs. Visiting these communities this week in Peabody, in Fall River, and Worcester, I saw how we can put people back to work rebuilding our crumbling roads and bridges and tunnels, how we can put people to work in every city and town in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. In Haverhill and Quincy and Lowell, as I visited them this week, I saw how smart policies can revitalize downtowns and provide affordable housing to help families achieve the American dream of home ownership. In Medford, in Fitchburg, in Northampton, I heard how families are struggling with the high cost of college. The big dreams of our students should never be thwarted by the small print of burdensome loans. There is no shortage of challenges, and I will take on every single one of them for you in the United States Senate. Right now, our economy is caught in the riptide of sequestration. The cuts in research at hospitals, universities, and our high-tech and defense labs are eliminating jobs and strangling growth. The slashing of services like Head Start are making it harder for the neediest families to focus on finding and keeping a job. I will work every single day in the United States Senate to build a bold, bright future filled with optimism and opportunity and jobs for every family in our state of Massachusetts and across our great country. I heard many concerns this week, and I was also reminded that Massachusetts is a special state. It is a place where the daughter of a fisherman in New Bedford can work side by side on the docks with her father at a new wind energy terminal. I want to put union steel workers and iron workers and welders and electricians to work building the new backbone for a new energy economy here in the United States and around the world. We can combat climate change, break our dependence on foreign oil, create millions of jobs across our country, tens of thousands of new jobs here in Massachusetts and across our country. And we can do it, and we can do it now. We can take on these challenges, and we can be successful. Massachusetts is a place where an entrepreneur can find the professors, the investors, and the manufacturers to fund, to build, and to sell the newest technologies from Massachusetts. It is a place where children from all over the world who are blind can come to the Perkins School in Watertown and learn from the world's best educators and build productive, meaningful lives to become part of this economy. Our state's business plan is built on a tradition of innovation. We are the land of Necco wafer candies. And at the same time, we are the state of wafer-thin solar panels. That is who we are as a state, both at the same time. We launched the shot heard round the world and pioneered entirely new industries that continue to transform our world today. Our seas have supported centuries of fishermen and now also will be the home to the nation's first offshore wind farm. We are still the pioneers. We are #1 in information technology. #1 in biotechnology, #1 in healthcare and scientific research in the United States. And at all times, we have to remember that Massachusetts is not just the Bay State, we are the brain state. That is who we are. That is what makes us special. We employ more than 500,000 people in these industries. And we must keep innovating to keep more jobs here in the state of Massachusetts. New innovations will require new buildings, new jobs. And those buildings are going to be built by union workers so that we see cranes going up all across this city and all across the Commonwealth. And we come from a rich history of manufacturing as the birthplace of the American Industrial Revolution. That is what brought the Markeys to Lawrence, to the mills of Lawrence, yearning for a new chapter now with the same families living in those same homes in Lawrence and Fitchburg so that we can have the same opportunities for those families. I went up to the first floor of the triple-decker in Lawrence to see who lived there now, where my father and his 4 brothers and sisters grew up, the triple-decker on Phillip Street in Lawrence. And the door opened and out came a Dominican family. And the aspirations are the same, even though the accents are different. They have the same hopes for their children, for their families. And we must ensure that we provide the same opportunities for them that were provided for us so that we can sit here this evening in Faneuil Hall. We should be investing in the Massachusetts business plan and not allow leadership in the innovation economy to be ceded to other states or offshore to China or to Europe or any other place in the world. In the United States Senate, I will stand up for you, for the values that I have always believed in, honesty and fairness and equality. And I will promise you this, I will seek consensus wherever possible. Like you, I am tired of gridlock, but I will never compromise on our principles. And I pledge to you that I will be a senator who will fight for you every hour on every vote on every issue to make progress for you and for your family. I will fight for everyone struggling to make ends meet. I will fight for immigrant families reaching for the American dream. I will fight for young people who are our future. I will fight for seniors who built our country. I will fight for our veterans who protected our country. I will fight to preserve our planet for generations to come. And I will fight to defend health care reform dreamed of by Ted Kennedy, the model created here in Massachusetts, signed here on this stage, and then delivered to the nation by Barack Obama. I will fight to preserve health care for everyone in our country. I want, as you want, a 21st century that is more educated, more healthy, more prosperous, and more fair than the 20th century was. I want this country to have its best days ahead of it. And I know that we have to do it together. I thank all of you for everything that you do for our Commonwealth and our country. God bless Massachusetts. God bless the United States of America. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much.